Hi everyone, welcome back to the Pocket Nutrition PT. My name is Katie Henderson, clinical nutritionist, naturopath, personal trainer and plant-based chef. Today's video is all about oats. Oats seem to be something that everyone loves to eat for breakfast. Everyone likes to have it at some point of the day. Whether you're training at the gym or not, it's just one of those staple foods that people seem to just really enjoy. I get so many questions about oats. Clients say to me all the time, are oats okay? Should I eat oats? What should I do? So I thought I'd make a video about it and just put to bed a couple of other questions that come along with this. If you're new to the channel, please click the subscribe button because I share recipes that help you lose weight and have more energy than you know what to do with. In this video, we're going to run through a few topics. First of all, I'm going to explain, are oats good or bad for you? We'll run through that. The next bit will be a suggestion for how to have oats and how frequently to have oats and how best to do them, and the reasons for that as well. The final part of the video is going to be a delicious little oat recipe. Now I know that there will be a range of different people watching this video, and some of you might be experienced vegans, raw vegans even. Some of you might do more of a raw till 4 thing. Some of you may not be plant-based at all and may still like to enjoy some meat from time to time. Some of you may just be getting into your health and fitness journey and really just want some clear information about what's what, because I do realize that there's a lot of information out there now. I'm not going to be bothered spending all this time explaining science behind it because I know you don't want to hear that. You want results and you want to get as fast results as possible. I got you. I got your back. So first of all, let me just start by saying inherently oats are not bad for you. I don't even like to put a label on foods. We've just got to look at the reality around how certain foods interact with your body as it currently is. Now, everyone has got their own genetic makeup. Everyone has got their own health history, health story, different things that you've experienced in your lifetime, whether you've had surgeries or if you've had a chronic condition or if you've been really healthy, but then all of a sudden you get diagnosed with something and it's a complete surprise. So everyone's a little bit different on their path. So I'm mindful of that, and I'm mindful that some people may be able to deal with oats better than other people, and I totally get it. I'm just here to explain to you my suggestion and the reasons for that suggestion. I just want to touch on the concept of acid-alkaline balance. Most disease states occur in an acid state. So that means that the metabolic byproducts of our cell's metabolism and the other substances that we've been exposed to are creating an abundance of acid within our system. To heal the body, we want to be in more of an alkaline balance. So that means we need to eat foods that form an alkaline substance within the body. This is where things get a little bit surprising. I know I certainly was surprised when I found out about this. And I was also surprised that when I went through my university training, we didn't talk much about this. So what is an alkaline forming food? Fruits and raw vegetables. Period. That's it. The fruits and the vegetables, with the exception of a few things, are basically the alkaline forming foods. Every other food, so that includes grains, legumes, nuts and seeds, eggs, meats, dairy, refined sugar, alcohol, and coffee. All of those things that we're consuming are forming acid byproduct when we ingest them. Cooked vegetables are a bit more neutral, and of course there are some exceptions to these rules. But overall, that's the reality of what we're dealing with. So if you have been eating 10% of your diet is raw fruits and vegetables, and the remaining 90% of your diet is all the other foods, then you can see why you may not be getting as good results as you would like. because we've got this abundance of acid being formed in the body. The body is then having to work exceptionally hard energetically to maintain its preferred pH, and therefore also we're pulling more of those desirable minerals out of our bodies when we actually should be using them to do all of the healing, do all of the energetic processes. If the body is in a very acidic state as well, think about it this way. If you put acid on your skin, what does it do? It burns the skin. So a build-up of very strong acids in the system over many, many years can cause tissue damage. That's right. We're damaging our bodies with all of this excess acid. This is what leads to cells becoming unhappy, tissues becoming unhappy, organs becoming unhappy, and ultimately we're becoming unhappy because of all these acids. So when we alleviate the body from having to deal with so much acid and we start putting in these healing, energetic foods like fruits and raw veggies, the body just loves it. The body will be able to start healing and mending itself, and you're just going to feel so much better. So if you're looking to improve things, then we'll be needing to shift the diet to more of this alkaline forming foods and away from the acid forming foods. It doesn't mean you need to completely give up the acid forming foods necessarily, and certainly I wouldn't recommend that straight away. What we want to do is balance everything a little bit. So let's look at increasing the fruits and vegetables up to 50% of what you consume and decreasing the amount of acid forming foods that you eat. So then you'll be up to a 50-50 balance. Once you reach this, then you can notch it up a little bit higher and go to 60-40. Then you can notch it up further and go to 70-30. And you just keep getting better and better with this until you reach a point where you're getting the result that you want and you're able to sustain that lifestyle. I've personally found that I prefer to sit much higher on the alkaline scale than I do on the acid side, because as soon as I eat too much acid forming food, I don't feel very good, my digestive system suffers, and I have low energy again, which I just don't prefer. Some people deal with those acids a little bit differently, but also we need to be mindful that the system does prefer it. So over time, even though some people out there may be dealing quite well, they feel like they've got energy, etc., their bodies will still be building up that acid if they're not eliminating it. And ideally, if you want to avoid infections and chronic disease, sitting in an alkaline state is a much better approach. This is why I really support having more fruit in the morning rather than the oats and the bread and the eggs, etc. Because we really want to take that first moment of the day when you're most motivated to get in as much alkaline forming foods as you possibly can, whilst minimizing the amount of acid forming foods. For my clients, I usually recommend that they have a big breakfast of fruit, a large fruit bowl or a large fruit smoothie, because instantaneously you're going to be increasing how much alkaline forming foods you're putting into your system from the get-go. And it will just give you a wonderful sense of get up and go in the morning and help to clear out the digestive tract and prepare it for the day. Because I make this suggestion to have a big bowl of fruit or a big fruit smoothie in the morning, and to consistently do that to become healthier, improve liver health, improve energy and weight loss, I find that some people get a bit annoyed because they're not used to eating this amount of food. Their blood sugars are dysregulated, so they get hungry later on and they don't understand why. They get frustrated and they give up too quickly. I've been through this myself, and I realise that it's a bit of a frustration for some people getting started. Other people, it's not so much of an issue, but I realise that it's a challenge for some. So for that reason, I have decided to do this video to explain how to do a healthier Bircher muesli here and there throughout the week, so that people who are struggling with the fruit consistency every day feel like they're having a little treat throughout the week, or they're rewarding themselves for their hard work, and they're not just doing the monotonous same thing every day. I realise that some people's digestive systems cannot deal with high fruit and vegetable intake straight away. That's why you have to build up to these things, and there's strategies that you can use to help build your body up to be able to digest fruits and vegetables once again. If you would like more information on this, please reach out at my email, thepocketnutritionpt@gmail.com. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have a big fruit bowl or you have your smoothie. And then on Thursday, you have a little bit of fruit and then the oats. And you do that every 3 or 4 days or so. And I think that really sets your mind up to succeed. If you've done the 3 days of fruit in a row, you think, all right, I've done that now. My 4th day is my little treat day. That is how I would structure it. So you might have your fruit bowl in the morning, eat as much of it as you can, and then you leave a little bit of space. Then you can have the Bircher muesli as the second part of your breakfast. But always eat the fruit first, because if you don't eat the fruit first, then the Bircher will go down. It's going to take a lot longer to digest. And then you throw the fruit in, that fruit is going to then catch up to the Bircher muesli and cause digestive discomfort. If you've got rock solid digestion, some people can manage it. It's just not most people can manage it. Especially I've found females tend to struggle with that a little bit more than males. Yeah. Anyway, so always eat fruit first in the morning. Then if you want to indulge and have a little treat, break up the monotony, have the oats this way. I think it's a really good balance. It gives you enough of the fruit throughout the week to feel very energetic and start feeling like you're making progress without denying you and feeling devastated because you can't have these other foods. It's about balance once again. If you have been really unwell, you may need to take it to another level. As I said, for some people, they might be able to deal with oats. Some people might not be able to deal with oats. Some people might be so compromised that their digestion just won't allow them to digest the oats, and therefore they're not going to get too much benefit from it. In fact, it will probably be counter-beneficial. So it is a case-by-case basis with this. I know that I used to not be able to eat the oats, and now I can eat a little bit of oats. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to eat it every day just because I can. I still want to progress myself. I still want to have better results. I still want to pull out more layers of this toxic acidity of my body that built up over many years. And so that's why I decide to still do the fruit every morning for breakfast mostly. Occasionally have the Bircher muesli, but very rarely because it's still a heavier food to digest. It still takes up more energy to balance everything again. And I just prefer to be more alkaline these days. So now I'm going to share with you my recipe for a delicious Bircher muesli. I'll just share with you quickly the oats that I prefer to use. So this is a brand that is called Gloriously Free. It actually used to be called gluten-free, I think, but it's called Gloriously Free Aussie Oats. And this company used to be called gluten-free, but they had to change their labeling because Australia now has different standards as to what they can and can't say is gluten-free. And you're not allowed in Australia to say that oats are completely gluten-free. However, this company has always promoted themselves as having nil gluten in their oats. And so I'm always drawn to that because I don't really like gluten. I know that it does upset me a little bit, and so I'd prefer to have a high quality of oat that doesn't have any gluten. But I can't confirm, once again, because you're not allowed to say so, that there's absolutely no gluten. But what they say on the back is this: we have the gold standard in oats, nil gluten contamination from seed to plate from the gluten found in wheat, rye and barley. A small percentage of celiac patients react to the avenin in oats. Please do an oat challenge. So there you go, for all the celiacs out there. This would be the one that you would want to try if you wanted to risk it. Obviously, I don't recommend this, and none of what I'm saying is health advice, but there you have it. So let's get into it. For this recipe, you will need 2 cups of organic rolled oats. You will need half a cup of oil-free raisins or sultanas, half a cup of dried mulberries, 2 grated organic carrots, cinnamon to taste, and just over 1 cup of filtered water. For extra indulgence, you can also add 2 to 3 dried figs. So, how to make this recipe? Simply prepare a mixing bowl with the 2 cups of oats, add in the raisins, the dried mulberries, the carrot and the water, and stir through to combine. Place into a glass container and sprinkle cinnamon to your taste. You can then also add some of the figs on the top. Place this in the fridge overnight, and then in the morning your oats will be ready. For extra indulgence, you can also pair this with a little raspberry or mixed berry coulis like I have here in this little pot. It's just a really indulgent way to add a little bit of extra energy and a little bit of a pop of colour onto your meal. Depending on your hunger levels, I would suggest between 3/4 to 1 cup of this Bircher mixture after you've had a fruit meal. It will really make you feel so comforted, so happy. Your soul will enjoy it, especially as you're starting to come off more of these heavier foods. And it should give you plenty of energy. There's no fat, you don't need extra oat milk, you don't need extra yogurt. It's just fine as it is. So give it a go. I hope you really enjoy it. I certainly do from time to time. I can digest them now, thankfully. I am still very cautious about how often I have them personally, because I know that I prefer to stay more alkaline with my diet. But it's a wonderful way to feel healthy, get results, have energy, and to not have to add in all of those other fatty ingredients, which is really what's causing a lot of the weight gain and health problems. Now, let me tell you, as someone who doesn't eat this very often, I'm really excited about having a little bit. It's so indulgent. It's just so tasty. And there's really no need for any milks or any of that stuff, because when you've got the water in there, the oats absorb it, there's a little bit left over, and it's sort of like you've got your own oat milk in there anyway. You really don't need to go adding all of that extra stuff and buy it from the shops with all the sunflower oil and preservatives and extra sugar and all that jazz. Just make it this way yourself. Absolutely delicious. Oh. Oh my oats. Let me get a little bit of the coulis. I'm telling you, as far as oats goes, this is where it's at. What an indulgent reward for having stuck to your fruit plan for 3 and 4 days. I'm frothing over this. So good. Low fat, plant-based, super easy. You can make it at night time. You're probably going to want to eat all of it. That's the only issue. But as I suggested, try to just have it every 3 days or so, and that is your reward for having the fruit as breakfast for a few days in a row. Give it a go. I think you'll really enjoy this. I don't know anyone who wouldn't enjoy this. This is absolutely delicious. And you know what? The carrot in there, oh man, it just takes away a little bit of that sweetness from the dried fruits. If you'd like the recipe for the coulis, follow me on Instagram, comment on one of my videos, coulis recipe, and I'll send it right to you. My best tip for this, if you're having the fruit every day and then you're doing this every few days or so as your little treat, Choose a day to have this when you've trained or you're going to be training. Your metabolism will be running higher, your body will be warmer, and your digestion will deal with this a little bit better. Plus, your body's in a repairing and healing mode, so it will gobble the energy right up. Another tip, do not add protein powder, anything artificial, anything from a packet. You do not need it. Have it just as it is, no yogurt, no coconut, no nuts, no seeds, no extras. Have it just like this, the way that I've showed you here. That is what you need. It will give you so much energy and you'll feel amazing for it. I hope that you've really enjoyed this video. Once again, I'd love you to subscribe to the channel. I'll be bringing a lot more recipes on here. I try to keep the health videos short and sweet as much as I can because I don't want to rant at you about health science. I just want you to enjoy these wonderful foods and feel yourself getting more energetic, healthier every day, losing weight, and finally being able to get yourself back into the gym. See you next time.